Hello, welcome back to the physics course. Here we're going to talk about unit conversions in physics. I am not going to exaggerate when I say that what you're about to learn in this section, and I'm absolutely serious, is one of the most useful, consistently used things that I have used in all of my learning, okay? From the very basic high school stuff all the way through college, all the way through graduate school, working on really complicated projects for work, for NASA, for whatever. Unit conversions is one of the absolutely most essential core things that you can learn. Here's why. Every single problem in physics, every single problem in engineering, every single problem in chemistry is going to have units. You're going to have something happening at some speed, or you're going to have some energy involved, or you're going to have some time involved. And you're going to have to calculate something with these numbers, but those units are always going to be in the wrong units. You have to do these calculations in kilograms, meters, and seconds, at least in physics, right? And if you don't convert to the proper units, you can't do the calculations. So you have to be able to know how to do it. Nobody's going to tell you how to do it. And very frequently you have to know, like we'll see as we do it here, do I multiply by the conversion factor or do I divide by the conversion factor? So that trips people up very, very, very commonly, including me. Even now, if I don't think about it hard enough, do I multiply by the conversion factor or do I divide? Right? So I'm going to show you a method here where you're never ever going to have to worry about if you have to multiply or divide. It's going to be laid out for you in a way that's absolutely bulletproof. You'll get it correct every time, and you won't have to think about should I divide or should I multiply. Also, there are certain problems that you solve later in physics and later in chemistry that are not only unit conversions help you with, but they actually can be completely solved just by doing unit conversions. So doing this I can't even stress enough how incredibly useful it is. It is literally one of the most important things that I've ever learned in all of my learning, ever. So first thing we're going to do is something very simple. I'm going to show you the simplest thing you can do because you already know how to do this. And I'm going to show you how to do it what I call my way, but it's really, lots of people do it this way, but it's not always taught like this. What if I want to convert 2 feet to inches? So everybody here watching this probably knows, now again, we're not going to use English units in physics, but we're just using this as an example. 2 feet, that's about a foot, so that's about 2 feet, right? You all know that there's 12 inches in a foot. So you all know that you're going to take the 2 feet multiplied by the 12 inches and you're going to get 24 inches. So you all know the answer, obviously. What's going to happen is most problems are not going to be this simple. But you notice how we had to take the 2 and multiply it by something. That's the conversion factor, that there's 12 inches in a foot. We had to multiply. That was very easy, very intuitive. You knew to multiply. But sometimes it's going to be difficult for you to know if you multiply by the conversion factor or divide by the conversion factor. You'll see as we go. In this case, you know very, very simply. So let me show you how to do it the simple way. So we know, right, we know the following. We know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So you all know to multiply, right? Now let's set it up the way that I'm going to teach you. I want you to do every unit conversion this way. You start with what you know. You know 2 feet, so you write down 2 feet down. You always start with what you know. You draw a horizontal line under, just go a certain distance, you can extend it later. And then draw a vertical line right next to the 2 feet. Now over here in the next spot, I have to write down my conversion factor. I know that 1 feet is equal to 12 inches. And I can write this thing down here in 2 ways. Let me write it the wrong way first, and then I'm going to write it the correct way. I can write it as 1 foot equals 12 inches. Okay, I can write that. Which means I would basically stop because you'll see why in a second, but we're basically done. But this